Hello, everybody. We're doing this one a day early. I'm going to be busy tomorrow. What I'm busy with, you guys will probably know about in the upcoming days, but for now, suffice to say that I may not have time to record a pregame video tomorrow, so we're doing it today, Friday afternoon. Let's go ahead and knock it out. So. What are we going to be able to do on Sunday in LA? What are we going to be able to do against this Rams team? This is a big game, and we're going to learn a lot about this team by the end, I'm afraid. And I say I'm afraid because I'm a little concerned we may end up learning nothing positive about the team, but we're going to learn it nevertheless. So, for starters, who's actually going to be suiting up? Because as you guys probably know, the injury report this week was not fun to look at. We have a lot of problems with this roster, and if you take a look at the other sideline, you're going to see a team that is pretty healthy. So that's right then and there a problem. So no corners. We got no Shaq and we got no Dunbar, which is not surprising to anybody, but our corners are going to be Trey Flowers, Ugo Amadi, who did get back this week, so that's good news, Ryan Neal, Lyndon Stevens, DJ Reed, and oh boy. Wow. Okay, so that's not good right then and there. Posick out right before we have to play Aaron Donald. So that's great. That's a lot of fun. That's going to be a thrill to deal with. A brand new center who I don't think he's ever started a game for us. I don't know if he's ever started a game, period, in the NFL. Kyle Fuller. A dude, the only reason I know Kyle Fuller's name is because he got busted for PEDs last year or this offseason or whatever. So that's not fun. Brian Monet out. That one's not as big a deal because it just means Snacks gets to get called up, which I assume is going to happen, and he's going to play a little bit. So that's actually a little exciting. Chris Carson, we don't know. It doesn't look great. Carlos Hyde, we don't know. It doesn't look great. Benson Mayoa, you can kind of forget about it. Yeah. Okay. So, what do we have? What are we going to be able to do against the Rams? Because I have in my head over the last couple days, because the news about this game has only gotten worse and worse with every day that's gone by, I have in my head tried to imagine what a Seahawks victory could look like. Because we still have Wilson, we still have our receivers, we still have most of our offensive line. I don't want to say the whole offensive line because Posick was playing very well. We now have Jamal Adams. We still have our linebackers, so I can't completely count us out before the game kicks off. But I can say this. This game, we cannot look to the offense to just bail us out like we usually do. This is not going to be like the New England game or Dallas game where we just need the offense to put up a ton of points and that ends up saving us even though the defense gives up 500 yards. That's not going to fly this week because this offense is one-dimensional and everybody knows it. Unless Carson suits up and plays, which I'm not super optimistic on right now, this is a one-dimensional offense, and that's what Buffalo exploited against us last week for the most part, in my opinion. They knew we had to pass the ball. They were ready for us to pass the ball, and they knew they didn't have to be concerned about our running game because they knew the guys we have back there are just a non-threat. And if the Rams are smart, if the Rams defense is well coached and comes into this game with the right mentality, they're going to be sitting on that as well. And that's going to make things hard for us. We also don't have the ability to pick up blitzes. Last week, that's really what killed us against Buffalo. Wilson got hit 16 times in that game. You can put most of that on the fact that we couldn't pick up our blitzes. When it was man-on-man, the offensive line was generally quite good. But now we still don't have our running backs back. We're going to be trotting out the same crew of running backs that we had last week. Travis Homer, DJ Dallas, and Alex Collins, it looks like they're going to be the guys. And I seriously doubt anything changed schematically with this offense in terms of their ability to pick up on pre-snap blitzes and get somebody in place to pick up the blitz in time. So, to me, we can't count on this offense to just play perfect out there. We need so much to go our way in order for the offense to have one of those games where they just put up 35 plus. It's a lot to ask. And don't get me wrong, I expect Wilson to play a very good game against the Rams because he usually bounces back and plays good after he has a rough game. And he did have a rough game against Buffalo. I think Wilson will find a way to put up some points. I think that DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, David Moore, they're going to find a way to make some plays because they're really good players and they've been playing really good for us. But to expect this offense to just go out there and score every time they get the ball is not realistic. We have a brand new, completely unfamiliar center playing for us against Aaron Donald, which, oh boy, it's not going to be fun. I'm going to tell you this right now. It's not going to be fun on offense. So right away I can say, look to the offense to put up a few points. Look to the offense to put together some good drives, but if you're expecting them to just be able to put up 50 and bail us out, this is not that week. This is the week when we find out about this defense, not only in terms of just talent or scheme, but in terms of their mentality, their manhood in a way. Because last week they got embarrassed, and 44 points, 0 turnovers forced. Even in this modern NFL, that's an embarrassing game. They went out there against a Bills offense that wasn't even playing that well over the last month, and they got completely embarrassed. So forget the talent, because our talent is not really going to be up to snuff this weekend. We are going to be down to a couple of very unprepared and probably, low-end corners. We're going to be down to the nub at corner. We're going to be missing one of our lead pass rushers so far this year in Benson Mayo. KJ Wright, we might be missing KJ Wright. Apparently he's going to play, but we don't know. And we know that even when these guys were out there, the defense was not playing great. So, okay, the talent, it's not up to par against an offense like the Rams, which has been pretty good for the most part this year. We also know the scheme is not there, and we've been talking about the scheme endlessly the last couple weeks. The scheme is terrible. The coaching is terrible. Norton doesn't know what he's doing. The scheme is not putting the players in the best place to succeed. We know that. So what I'm looking for this week against the Rams from this defense is some sign that they took what happened last week personally. Because if they get embarrassed against the Bills and then come out the very next week and get embarrassed against the Rams, then you have to start to question whether or not they've just given up, whether or not it's just they're just throwing in the towel. Because like I said, you can forget the talent, you forget the scheme, you forget the coaching, and you just have to ask these guys that as men, can you beat the guy in front of you? And I will say this. We got pressure last week against Josh Allen, but he never turned the ball over. Jared Goff is a quarterback who has the arm talent of Josh Allen, but he does not handle pressure as well as Josh Allen. And Josh Allen doesn't even handle pressure that well generally. But Goff is capable of throwing a true stinker up if you get enough pressure on him. So that's the one thing that we can hang our hat on going into this game on defense, in my opinion, because I'll tell you this. I don't expect the Rams to try to run the ball on us at all. So our good run defense is not going to come into play in this game if the Rams are smart. If the Rams are smart, they're not even going to try to run the ball on us. So right away I'm saying if you get pressure on Goff, you need to turn those plays into turnovers. It can't be like against the Bills where we would get a sack, but it didn't matter that much because the next play we'd be giving up 25 yards. So you need to take the ball away a few times, and Goff is going to give us a few opportunities to take the ball away. He always does when you get pressure on him. So to me, the way the Seahawks win this game is the same way Miami beat this team a couple weeks ago. Not that extreme, but Miami was able to win handily against the Rams despite having less than 150 yards of offense. That is what I'm looking for this weekend because, something like that. Something where the offense plays okay. Maybe they just protect the ball. Maybe they put together a few good drives, but I cannot expect them to go off against this Rams defense that has been really good so far this year, by the way. This Rams defense has played good in almost every game they played. Maybe the one exception would be the Buffalo game, and to a certain extent the 49ers game. I'm instead looking to this defense to just man up. Not because of the players they're putting out there, not because of the scheme and the coaching they have, but just because as men, you need to do something after the mess that was the Buffalo game last week. So that's what I'm looking for this week. Even if we don't win, and as of right now, I can't honestly say that I expect to win because we have so many issues with this team right now, and they're being exacerbated by the players we don't have. But I expect this defense to find a way to give this team a chance to win. I expect this team to do something on defense, be it getting pressure that turns into turnovers, or getting off the field, or doing something that warrants us as fans putting a little bit of belief in them. And if I don't see it, then I'm really going to start to ask the question, have these guys just given up? So last thing I can say about this one, because obviously this pregame video has not been very optimistic. I've gone on record saying I have a hard time seeing us winning this game. I have a hard time seeing the path to victory. In my head, I'm having a hard time seeing how this game is won. We're going to need the defense to play their best game of the year, but here's what I'm going to say to close out the video. This Seahawks team under Pete Carroll has generally done a good job of showing up, playing well, and often winning the games that I expect them to just get smacked in. There have been a handful of games over the last 10 years where I've gone into thinking, oh, we're just going to get blown out. This is one of those games you punt on and you think about next week. 2016 against the Patriots, 2017 against the Eagles, 2018 against the Rams and Chiefs in a way. I kind of just went into those games thinking like, okay, let's see what we got. Let's take our whooping like a man, and let's move on to next week. And in those games, we either won or came within a play or two of winning. So this team, when everybody's counting them out, including myself, they show up. So I guess it's reasonable for us to expect that once again, when people are counting them out, myself included, we at least show up. So I'm going to go ahead and call that a video. Peace out, go Hawks. I will probably post some kind of video tomorrow. It obviously won't be the pregame, but I'll try to find something to post tomorrow because, yeah, I just wanted to make sure that this got done. I don't think I'm going to be busy all day tomorrow, but remains to be seen. So, yeah, how do you guys feel about this one? You feeling like we can get something done? If we can find a way, imagine how much better we're going to be feeling on Monday. But as of right now, I'm having a hard time seeing it. And with that, peace out, go Hawks.